Okay, so if you remember this, you're a real one, and you've really been here for a while, which I very, very much appreciate, so thanks for sticking around. But like 2-ish, maybe even more, 2 years ago I think, I posted a video where I paid a book expert to recommend me books. And then I posted a follow-up video because I didn't realize it was a subscription service and I had forgotten to cancel the subscription, so then they recommended me more. Well, at that point I cancelled the subscription, and then just before Christmas I was like, what if I just did this again? What if I made a follow-up video to this? So anyway, all this to say, there is a website called TBR where you can sign up, you do a survey about the books that you like, you know, you specifically reference books that you've enjoyed recently, the kind of genres that you like, things that you didn't like, and things you'd like to avoid in the future, and you can also give them a bit of a prompt as to like what you are looking for. You also pay them, and then in return, they will recommend you 3 books. I think there is actually a version of this where they send you the physical books as well, but it was like an absurd amount of money, so I did not do that. But I did it again. And so a book expert has recommended me 3 books that they think I will like based on their expertise and the information that I gave them. I'm pretty sure what I told them is that I love world literature, I love learning about cultures outside of my own, countries all around the world. You know, I'm on this mission to read a book from every country in the world, and so hopefully this is going to assist me on that journey. I told them that I love the work of Toni Morrison and James Baldwin and Maggie O'Farrell and a bunch of others. You know, I gave them the full rundown, which you're absolutely sick of hearing me talk about at this point, like going on like a broken record about what kind of literature I enjoy. But I'm very much like a literary fiction, historical fiction kind of person. That's what I gravitate towards, and so these recommendations are going to be similar. And actually, last time I read books from this, they recommended me Disoriental, which was a book about Iran, which was so good, set in like Iran and Paris. And then there was After Parties, which is all about Cambodians living in America. I remember them recommending Love in the Big City, which went on to become one of my favorite books of all time. And so I'm kind of intrigued to see what they recommend to me this time around. So, hi Jack, thanks for trusting us with your bookshelves. We have a lot of beloved books in common, 133 according to your Goodreads Compare Books tool. That's interesting. That's a new feature. So I forgot to mention that you also attach your Goodreads accounts. They can see which books you rate highly, which books you've already read, so they don't recommend the same books that you already own or have read. And I guess now they pair you up with a book expert who actually has a very similar taste to you. So me and this book expert have read 133 of the same books. That's really cool. They said this made it a blast picking out these recommendations for me. Stop, I'm blushing. Not me feeling honoured. I feel like, you know, when you're a student at school and they were like, oh, he's a pleasure to have in class. That's how I feel right now. I feel like they're telling me, oh, this was a pleasure. This didn't even feel like work. It definitely felt like work. But I appreciate that. Thank you. That really fed my ego, thanks. So, the 3 books that they recommended are, firstly, The Words That Remain. This is by Stenio Gardell. I've never heard of this book, so I'm really excited about this. If you're looking to read more translated fiction and appreciate emotionally powerful queer books like A Little Life, I think this Brazilian novel is a must-read. Raimundo had a whirlwind romance in his youth with another boy in his neighbourhood, but it came to a dramatic end when their fathers found out. The only tangible reminder Raimundo has of his love is a letter from that boy. And it's not until he's an old man that he decides it's time to find out what words his lover left behind. Are you kidding me? It's a stunning book that will break your heart and stitch it back together again. Oh, shit. Oh, they know me. They know. Oh, wow. Okay, this is giving me like Lie With Me, Swimming in the Dark, Giovanni's Room, like that kind of genre of book, which I do really like. Okay, this could be a new favourite, The Words That Remain. It also kind of reminds me of On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, where he's writing a letter to his mum he knows will never be able to read it. Okay, like I'm ordering that book immediately. And while I do that, I just wanted to let you know that today's video is very, very kindly brought to you by Squarespace, which is the all-in-one platform for building a website or an online brand. So if you have an incredible idea like TBR, head to Squarespace, baby. The best news is you just need the idea. You don't need to have any coding expertise or web design experience. You can use Squarespace's range of incredible templates as the perfect starting point, as the perfect leap pad to start exploring your creativity. They also have some incredible tools. You can set up an email sign-up list. You can create a blog to share what's going on behind the scenes with your business, what's kind of happening in your brain. And I think that helps build community. It helps people feel a little bit closer to you. And then there's also analytical tools. So you can see what people are enjoying and therefore what you should make more of. You can use the code jackinthebooks at squarespace.com/jackinthebooks to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, but in the meantime, you can also get a free trial over on Squarespace to give everything a go, have a little explore, and see what you can do with the platform. So thank you so much to Squarespace for working with me on this video. I love you. And now onto this innovative website, which so far I'm having a great experience with. Okay, so the next book that the TBR expert has recommended to me is Identity by Mithu M. Sanyal. I'm intrigued by the spelling of this title, Identity. Maybe the description will make that make sense. I think you'll appreciate the nuanced perspective on appropriation and academia, plus the unique fantastical touches in this novel translated from German. Okay, so this is actually interesting because I don't always love like high fantasy, but I do like fantastical touches. For example, in books like Before the Coffee Gets Cold, when the fantasy elements bring out the humanity of the characters and bring out really specific, interesting emotions. I find that great when the focus is still on the humans rather than like aliens and stuff like that. So I like this. And I just have to say that's just my taste. It's my opinion! That's just personally what I like to read. No shade if you love dragons and aliens and stuff. That's, you know, that's why reading is so great, because we all have a different taste. So anyway, Indian-German doctoral student Nivedita has a blog with a significant following where she discusses race and identity. She has great respect for her academic advisor Saraswati, an expert on post-colonial race theory. But shortly after Nivedita talks glowingly about her advisor on a radio program, it comes out that Saraswati is actually white and has been passing as Indian. Oh, it's giving yellow face. Interesting. Nivedita must question everything she's learned from her professor and the platform she's built for herself. Okay, this is like a more nuanced version of Yellowface. I'm into this, because I found Yellowface at times, just at times, a little clunky, a little like heavy-handed, so I'm intrigued to see another take on this same kind of idea of posing as something that you're not. Cool, another great recommendation. I haven't heard of these books. Now this third book I have heard of. This is Bellies by Nicola Dinan, and I have a copy of it somewhere in this room. It's on one of these shelves, I just have to locate it. Since you love intimate and quietly thoughtful coming-of-age stories like Normal People, I had to recommend this one that I totally adore. Tom and Ming fall in love hard and fast at their British university, and their future together seemed certain, but I knew there was a but coming. I love complicated love. Not in my real life, I mean, I get enough of that, but I love reading about it. But then Ming came out to Tom and told him she planned to transition. Ming moves towards living as her authentic self as she and Tom age into adulthood, move across the globe, and try to discover if they will grow apart or grow closer together. It's a funny, moving, and tender story of love for a partner and yourself. Happy reading, Susie. Thank you, Susie. These are great recommendations. That sounds really, really fascinating. I need that. Well, I have that. I have a copy of that book. I remember I requested an ARC of that book when it first came out because I was excited to read it, and I don't know why I haven't yet. And sometimes you just need a bit of a kick up the backside. This happened with Love in the Big City as well. Like, I had already bought it, and then the book expert was like, no, you will love this book. Like, you don't understand. You need to read this book. And so then I did, and as we all predicted, I did love it. So I think this is gonna be the kick up the backside for me for Bellies. So we'll see. Maybe these books will end up in my best books of the year video at the end of 2024. Do not be surprised if that happens. I certainly won't, because they have a great track record with this. A really, really good track record, actually. So I'm gonna read those books. I'm gonna order them now. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you being here. All the best, stay in touch, have a wonderful day, and I will catch you next time. Bye-bye!